We're talking about Iota today. Yeah, welcome to crypto traders all around and followers. Our community is at an awesome little trade from last night on Iota. This is part of the method. We like fast-moving breakouts. We believe in being early and having the volume follow you in to the move, and we like to sell into the volume. The FOMO chasers, the dumb money, the 91% that charges in when something is pumping on the basis that something that is pumping has to pump forever. We like to sell to those people, and we like to have geometrically determined via the pattern targets. So this trade was shared internally last night. Before setup, actually, let's go through a couple of points on the, I suppose, our crypto side. We've got some super macro drawings. This is it just making the target. You can see it's already pulling back at that juncture. It did push again and go a little bit further through it and then go down. But that's the end. Let's follow it chronologically, though. You'll probably see that we have a long history of following it. This is some of the Bitfinex within the platform that I share with the guys, including open P&Ls as it progressed. This is it a little bit earlier on a shorter time frame. Actually, you'll see this as the little wind up on our second interim. In other words, that's the place where you expect it to pull back and give you a little bit of a journey. So that little bit there is this chart image. You'll note we get lots of positive little squeezes all the way through. We expect it to churn there, and then it pushes home, and you can see the finishing pump. You can see the volume. This is on the 15 minutes all the way through. So that gives you an idea of when we were watching it. And when we first started to watching it, I don't know why it's going on cloudy on us, but we were watching this element over here. In fact, I've got a rogue chart that's climbed in there. That's BCC. That's why it's not meant to be there. Excuse this clouded level. I'll go check that whether those uploaded okay. Let's have a look at within the exchange. This was earlier. We were actually trading BCC as well, but the Iota was the initial trade. At that point, I'd now trimmed it down just to a small holding size because we were at an interim and I was expecting a bit of a pullback. We were using some leverage. It's something you must use very judiciously. If you don't know what you're doing, it's better you don't. So when we have a look at it, this is how it's progressed. Note that after the break, pump, and then you get the winding up again, and then pump. This is on an hourly setup. At that point, it was worth, we'd already sized down. You can see the sizing. This is what I show on our premium side. Once people are serious, they've shown respect to us, and they've learned the method, I will give an idea of some of what I'm doing. And the levels of it. You can see that last night we were mainly on BCH. This was when Iota was the predominant one, and at about 113 at its bulkiest moment as it was pressing on. And you can see those entries and P&L type levels. We didn't get it exactly when we were supposed to, but the confirmation was in the RH2, so we were a tad late, but we made up for lost time. And then BCH thankfully also came in and chipped in immensely later as it started the move. So this is the concept of methodology combined with mindset, which we're accumulating even more great content working with our accelerator guys, which is for our real serious HVF trader program folk. This is the value of community and the trading area. Now the key point is everybody charges in once something is a proven move, and you can see there's a wick sell going on here. You had a confluence of targets. It's not actually the time to buy, and in fact this piece of geometry has played out. Now on top of this, Iota aside entirely, we have a macro view on Bitcoin that has been validated now for the bullish side, and we have super macro alts, a number of super macro alts that are in what we call huge setups. So you can see it was quite rewarding trading just Iota on the an hourly point time frame, and Bitcoin Cash. You got a better part of about $36,000 made last night for a couple of hours, and then in the morning closing out. Where have I got? I've got to get to the bottom again. This is a busy thread. Actually, this will be a lot better organized when our new system launches, which is coming imminently now. So imagine what you could do if you could catch super macros. if you can do that in a couple of hours on a small hourly 45-minute time frame setup. And we're fortunate enough to be in the situation where those super macros have been identified, and we also know how and when to accumulate them. All of them are not a buy right now. In other words, either they're a bit overheated or they're still waiting to trigger. We've listed them, we're detailing them, they're compliant to our method, and we're looking forward to what's coming. And the good part of it is that for a while we were unsure about Bitcoin. We wanted it to really prove its strength. We were expecting that and this is a free gift for all of you here, we're expecting this to be an upside HVF over here with a second impulse and this structure here. So we're expecting targets of taking us through the round number of 10 grand, which will be psychologically significant and taking us to about 10,250 before we rest again. And when we rest, I suspect it to pull back, hopefully more continuation patterns to set up. We'll be monitoring that and keeping our premium guys alert. When I get time, I can do a retrospective for those on the free view. But it's a full-time job making sure that we're watching as a community in the community. So I'm afraid those people have to be served first. But yeah, so it's looking reasonably bullish on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin holds it all together. It's going to be a good crypto season for a little longer. We've come to certain conclusions that we can now do because certain key levels have been crossed and validated. That means we have other coins that we expect that will be doing exceedingly well. It should support the alt market that Bitcoin is looking in reasonably good shape. And for now, what was a moderate rally in this rising wedge didn't go into too huge a spill. It spilled, but it formed upside continuation and is ready to pump again. So the volume's been good without being supremely spectacular. But more importantly, key levels from our history have been run. And that points to Bitcoin 10,000, 10,250 stroke here for this time frame under review, M45. We have other scenario costs for slightly longer time frame view, and we also know at what point any price change in action will have us revert to be more cautionary. And this is the benefit of method. So if you want to find out more, pop over to themarketsniper.com. That's our website. It is both the Market Sniper, the Crypto Sniper, and the Reset Sniper are three hats that we wear. I explained that in better detail in our InfoWars interview that we had when we were in Acapulco. Check out the Market Sniper channel for that if you're interested. So click the Get Started button. You'll get a free webinar. You're the rounded trader when you can make money on the sell side as well as on the long side. Everybody learned that in cryptos. Everybody was a long only leveraged hero, the bolder and the braver, throwing the highest risk could take an account. We remember the narrative of a guy with 3 Bitcoin to 300, just leveraging. The first sniff of the bear that came post the 20,000, he obliterated his account in entirety before it had even left the 16,000 level. This is the difference between not recognizing trend, not knowing how to do a super macro analysis, not knowing what precedes future bear markets. And part of that is baked into that Iota example as to why we take off at this juncture, given this high momentum move. So yeah, pop over to the Market Sniper. It's not for everyone, first of all, and not everyone should be doing it. It's if you're serious, you're prepared to respect people that are going to provide great method and methodology, community, and an awesome platform. So there is an offer at the end of it. But if you just want to come and see what we have to say about being able to be the holistic trader that can recognize the major trend churns and even exploit them to the downside, and if you're not ready to short, just play defense on that which you have made on the upside, is the first interim step. Shorting is not for everyone. Leverage is not for everyone. We only use it very judiciously and rarely, and when you reach a certain standard. Okay, that's my take. That was Iota. Great trade. And as you saw, we made a bid on Bitcoin Cash. We'll be updating our premium guys on the flow on that. Come and join us. It is 17th of May, and it is at our usual 19:30 GMT time. Speak to you then, and hope this was interesting for you.